All right, so now let's go ahead and make a change to our application and see if we can update our production server with those changes, but with a rolling update methodology using Docker Swarm so that we experience minimal to no loss. And so if I just, first of all, actually, let's just double check to make sure our application still works. And so here we got a response and we can see it says, hi there. Let's go back to our code and I'm going to add some more exclamation points and a few other things. Let's save that. And in this case, we want to do a build for our Node app. So we build a brand new image with those changes. And then we want to do a push of our Node app. So we push it to Docker Hub. All right. And so now let's go to our production server. And I'm just going to keep hitting the, whoa, what happened there? Let's find that Docker stack deploy command. So let's see if we just run this again, if it's able to pick up those changes. And so it looks like it's updating our services. So let's see Docker stack ps node app. Sorry, not node app, my app. It's going to list out all of our tasks. And look at what's happening here. It looks like we shut down 2 of our containers, right? And that's because of our parallelism, right? So if we go to docker compose.yaml, actually .prod.yaml, you can see we should only update 2 at a time. And then after it's been updated, we'll wait 15 seconds and then we'll wait for the next 2. So if I take a look at this and run this again to see all of our tasks, you can see we now have what? 1, 2, 3, 4. So 2 more of them got shut down and 2 new ones were created. So let's then run this again. And we should see 2 more. And so there's just a couple of more of our original 8 containers that need to get updated. So you can see it's just doing 2 at a time. And while it's updating right now, if I send it, right, you can see it's been updated for some of them. Let me see if I can hit one of them, right? And so I can hit one of them that hasn't been updated, but it looks like most of them have been updated. Oh, it looks like we received an error. Like I said, even with a orchestrator, it doesn't guarantee that we won't have no downtime, but you can see this greatly minimized it. And then let's try this again. And we can see that for each one of our 8 containers, we had a previous task where we shut it down, and then we have the new one that we're running. And if I push these changes out again, so if I do this whole process one more time, delete this, we'll do the same 2 things. We'll do a build, and then we'll do a push. And then we can do a stack deploy. We don't need to pass in any other arguments. It'll check with Docker Hub to pull the latest image. And so now if I do a PS my app, you can see that there's 2 of them that have been shut down. So it's going to do 2 at a time, like I said. And let's just run this again. So you can see I get the exclamation still for a lot of the requests. Some of them I don't though, because like I said, 2 of those containers have already been changed. And then by now it's probably 4. And eventually, if I just keep doing this after about, it's probably going to take about a minute. But let's run this again. And you can see most of them have already been changed. All right, so it looks like all of our containers have been updated. We can verify that by just running this again. And you should see that each one should be up in a running state after the previous one got shut down. And so that's pretty much all I have for you guys for this video series. Hopefully you guys have a better understanding of how Docker works and how we can develop Node and Express applications using Docker and how we can move from a development environment to a production environment. And I really did want to emphasize a lot of the challenges that you face when going from development to production, because Docker it was created to simplify that process, but even with Docker, there's still going to be plenty of challenges. And so now that you guys have a basic understanding of how all of this works, you can kind of take some of the ideas that I've taught you and kind of tweak it so that you can build your own development to production workflow. Obviously, in this video, I didn't cover anything with regards to building out like a CI/CD pipeline. That would be the logical next step. So I'll probably make a video series showing you how we can actually build a full CI/CD pipeline for a Docker-based application. But I think this is a good starting point for people that just want to get a little bit more familiar with deploying apps and as well as getting familiar just with Docker in general.